Listening skill is one of the most important set of skill for the auditors. Auditing is a conversation process. You ask questions, you get response, you listen to them actively and get meaningful information from the conversation. And then you look at evidence and then you conclude the audit. If you miss to listen a point, you are going to miss the most vital piece of information for you to conclude and decide on conformity. To become a great auditor, you have to become a great listener. Remember Wilfredo Pareto's 80-20? You have to listen to 80% of the time, and 20% of the time you should talk. Therefore, develop a superb listening skill. The more carefully and attentively and respectfully you listen to the speaker who is your auditee, you get greater respect. And that's what makes you a much greater respected person as an auditor and a far more effective auditor. I'm going to play an audio clip from one of the finest book I've ever read, titled The Toyota Way by Jeffrey Keliker. This is a book on Toyota's philosophy and Toyota production system. Even though this book is on automotive industry, this knowledge you can apply in any industry, regardless of where you are working. This knowledge is universally applied in any type of industry that you may work. So you will listen to this, which is almost 3 minutes. I'll ask you a few questions in the quiz. You have to respond back to all those questions. You must score minimum 70% to qualify, 80% to be a great auditor. Above 90%, a superb and outstanding auditor. And if you can score 95% and above, I'll send you the book as a gift. Let's begin. Toyota Way by Jeffrey K. Liker.
After Kiichiro Toyota, one of the Toyota family leaders who shaped the company was Eiji Toyota, the nephew of Sakichi and younger cousin of Kiichiro. Eiji Toyota also studied mechanical engineering, entering Tokyo Imperial University in 1933. When he graduated, his cousin Kiichiro assigned him the task of building, all by himself, a research lab in a car hotel in Shibora. Eiji Toyota started by cleaning a room in one corner of the building and obtaining basic furniture and drafting boards. He was also charged with checking and servicing defective cars and developing Toyota's initial quality control process. In his spare time, he investigated companies that could make auto parts for Toyota. Toyota was mostly purchasing parts from the United States and wanted to localize its supply chain. Eventually, Eiji Toyota became, as mentioned earlier, the president and then the chairman of Toyota Motor Manufacturing. Eiji Toyota played a key role in selecting and empowering the leaders who shaped sales, manufacturing, and product development. Perhaps most notably, Taiichi Ohno, who led the creation of the Toyota production system. The Ohno production system. In the 1930s, Toyota's leaders visited Ford and GM to study their assembly lines. They carefully read Henry Ford's book, Today and Tomorrow. They tested the conveyor system, precision machine tools, and economies of scale ideas in their loom production. Toyota managers knew that if they were to survive in the long run, they would have to adapt the mass production approach for the Japanese market. Ford's mass production system was designed to make huge quantities of a limited number of models. This is why all Model Ts were originally black. In contrast, Toyota needed to churn out low volumes of different models using the same assembly line because consumer demand in Toyota's auto market was too low to support dedicated assembly lines for one vehicle. Ford had a great deal of cash and a large U.S. and international market. Toyota had little cash and operated in a small country. With few resources and little capital, Toyota needed to turn cash around quickly, from receiving the order to getting paid, so it could pay suppliers. Toyota didn't have the luxury of taking cover under the high volume and economies of scale afforded by Ford's mass production system. It needed to adapt Ford's manufacturing system to simultaneously achieve high quality, low cost, short lead times, and flexibility. While Ohno and his team learned from other companies, especially Ford. They had to develop unique solutions given the nature of the challenges. Through the 1950s, Ono evolved an approach that originally had no name and was referred to as Ono's production system, until it eventually was named the Toyota production system.